Welcome back to Master Your Ash. Today we will be smoking the CAO Amazon Basin 2025. The original CAO Amazon Basin Extra Añejo was my dive into this particular blend. Limited edition cigar gets released every single year. 2 years ago, the Extra Añejo was the feature release, and that had an additional aging to the standard limited edition, which is the one that we had for both 2024 and 2025. The Extra Añejo is touted typically by most of the review community as being the very best in the CAO Amazon Basin, and I agree wholeheartedly with that, even though I did not have an opportunity, I feel like, to smoke many of the 2024s. From the people that I've spoken to, the 2025 is smoking very well, even though it does not receive as long of an aging. All of them are a 6x52 ring gauge in this Toro size, and all of them feature an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper over a combination of Brazilian, Nicaraguan, and I believe Dominican binders and fillers. The Brazilian tobacco is this very unique, very esoteric tobacco that's utilized in the blend. For me, it has a lot of dark fruit notes to it, some stone fruit. There's like this plum kind of fig note that comes out, along with a nice kind of red wine tannin to it, be the best way that I could describe it. And it's one of the cigars that has really captivated me since starting the channel 4 years ago, that I seem to always go back and forth and just really try to search out every single year. MSRP on this stick is right around $14 to $16. Off the initial lighting, the spice is very reserved on this stick, maybe a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Does not sting the nostrils at all. Nice little wood characteristics, a little bit of leather on the back end, and also maybe some nuttiness. But the brown sugar, the raisin, the plum, the fig, all of those stone fruits and red wine tannins, those are in the flavor profile as soon as you light this up. So I'm gonna smoke this down for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll be back with the first third. Smoking on down our Amazon Basin in the first third right now, about maybe 10 minutes in, 10, 15 minutes in, and I'll tell you what, for those of you out there that have watched my reviews for the last 4 years, you know it is easily described by my facial expression most of the time when a cigar is just like, the blend just gets me. And this one is no exception to that. The 2025 is smoking incredibly well. It is, to start, just as good as any of the Amazon Basins that I've had outside of the Extra Añejos. That is the only one that takes it just a step further. And the beauty of the 2025 is that it doesn't have any of like that really extra aged musky leatheriness to it that the Extra Añejos have. So if you're not a fan of that particular flavor profile, these deliver the raisin, the plum, everything off of that initial first third to start off with, without that extra leathery, musky, dark earth. And it does it in such a clean, I guess would be the way that I would describe it, way, where there isn't like this petrol flintiness to it or minerality that combats any of those really rich dark fruits. Spice on the retrohale is very reserved on this, 5 or 6 out of 10 at the very most. Does not sting the nostrils, just super clean, very condensed and linear on the palate, but still coating and full flavor spectrum. Has the leather, it has some of the woodiness, it has some of the nuttiness, and then also that rich raisin, rum raisin kind of characteristic, almost a brown sugar sweetness on the back end. Absolutely love this damn blend. I think that it's my favorite CAO blend hands down, and one that, like I've said, for the last 15 minutes, I look forward to again and again. Basically, I'll probably reiterate that about 9 more times throughout the review, so I apologize if it gets to be a little long at the tooth. But absolutely love this blend. Great construction as always. I'm going to continue to smoke this down and just sit back and enjoy this. I'll be back in the second third. Smoking on down the second third of our Amazon Basin 2025. Not a ton of transition to report, and I am not complaining because the first third of this cigar along with the second third of the cigar, is maintain that rum raisin, rich red wine tannin, along with the brown sugar sweetness, a little bit of leather, some woody notes here or there, and just overall an absolutely delicious, medium, complex, and fairly medium strength blend. The construction has been absolutely phenomenal. This was dry boxed for about 4 or 5 days. There are some very heavy, robust tobaccos in this particular blend that hold on to a lot of water. Spice on the retrohale, little tiny bit of vegetal, white pepper, maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. You know, it doesn't sting the nostrils. It's very complementary to the blend. It provides a little bit of strength, a little bit of nuance here or there. Absolutely loving it. I'm going to smoke it down until we get into the final third, and I will be back with a pairing recommendation and my overall impressions. I decided to grab the Innis & Gunn Caribbean Rum Cask Scottish Beer, aged in Caribbean rum casks. In my original Amazon Basin review, the Extra Añejo, I believe, was what I reviewed a little over a year ago now. I spoke about how this has such a wide flavor spectrum. You can pair almost anything that you want with it. I still feel as though the 2025 is indicative of that. And with it being a little bit cleaner and not as musky, you really don't need a super huge ABV in order to pair up with this. It's not a full-bodied smoke by any stretch of the imagination. And although the flavors are a little bit darker, dark fruit, dark earth, this, that, or the other, there's not a ton of real strength that's going to force you to have to only go into a barrel strength whiskey or something that's a little bit higher in ABV. So that's why I decided to go beer this time. And as you can tell, this normally red Scottish ale is a lot darker thanks to the rum cask. It also has this brown sugar kind of sweetness to it. It almost gives it a sassafras kind of cherry cola almost flavor. Porters would go really well, stouts, those of you that are Guinness fans out there, absolutely fantastic. I don't think that we really need to smoke much further in order to proclaim this a box-worthy stick, just in my humble opinion. I know that I am biased because I thoroughly love this blend. For those of you out there that have not had the opportunity to procure these or come across them, I do absolutely feel as though that they are box-worthy. I think that if you have any skepticism or that you feel as though that I'm biased because I just absolutely love this blend, which is fair, very fair, self-admitted bias, right? You can definitely go with a 5-pack of these, keep it right at about 75, 80 bucks, and you'll still find yourself thoroughly intrigued by how unique the flavor profile is. It is much unlike any other cigar that is out there in the market in certain ways. And I've only come across a couple of comparables, most of them being done by CAO in general with the Ornella and some of the other Amazon-esque cigars that they've released. Thank you all so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, continuing to grow the community here at Master Your Ash. I greatly appreciate all of you for that. Looking forward to another CAO Amazon cigar review.